For the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling pretty much like a waste of space. And it started on Sunday morning, May 2nd, when I woke up feeling achy from head to toe. At first I thought it was nothing more than the result of using different muscles while doing about 8 hours of strenuous yard work the day before. But when I checked my heart rate, which I habitually do every morning, and saw that it was thumping along at 93 beats a minute, I knew I was screwed. My wife had been battling COVID for the past week, and since I hadn't shown any symptoms, I optimistically assumed I had dodged the bullet. But my elevated pulse screamed otherwise, loud and clear. And as the morning slowly worked its way into the afternoon, my lethargy and slightly achy body began to morph into full-blown pain from head to toe. So that was my fate for the rest of the day and night, only things got progressively worse and more painful. My heart rate was running at steady 95 beats a minute. I acquired a slight fever, not to mention a mild but persistent headache. And so it went for the next 2 days. And then on day 3, that mild, persistent headache turned into a relentless migraine from which there was no relief. And the worst thing about a migraine, which I never knew because I never got them, is that it rendered me completely useless. I mean, I couldn't read, I couldn't write. Hell, I couldn't even concentrate enough to watch TV. All I could do was lie in bed and stare at the ceiling and hope for the sweet relief of exhausted sleep, which mercifully came in sporadic bouts, but, well, it never lasted nearly long enough. And so as I lay there, marinated in my migraine and a cold sweat, I thought back to the last time I was sick. It was about 7 years earlier when I caught a wicked flu bug, a stomach flu bug to be exact. And I distinctly remember by the 3rd day of hanging my head over the toilet, dry heaving and retching so badly, I no longer had the energy to get up off the cold floor. And I distinctly remember thinking how much I would have welcomed death right then and there. I'm serious, it was that bad. But I also remember that as I gradually got better, I began to reflect on how much I had always taken my good health for granted. You see, at that time, I was tipping the scales at about 205 pounds. And although I exercised fairly regularly, I had to admit that I really hadn't been making health a priority. So I used that flu bug experience like it was rocket fuel. From that day forward, I vowed to lose weight and redesign my lifestyle so that my health became an absolute priority. And for the past 7 years, I kept my vow. And since then, I lost 30 pounds of fat, cleaned up my diet, and I made absolutely sure I stay well hydrated. And I consciously strive to limit any bouts of chronic stress. And so, here I was, 7 years later, and as I stared at that ceiling, enduring that relentless migraine, I thought back to the last time I was sick and how grateful I was for being so sick that it awakened a deep drive to make health a priority in my life. This time around, I was really sick for about 4 days, and the other 10 or so I was, well, just off. No energy. Limited ability to concentrate, and living one day to the next without my usual vitality and energy. It was an experience, and ironically, I'm very grateful for that experience. See, getting COVID was definitely a 2-week cloud in my life, but it served as a powerful reset for my profound gratitude for my good health and a renewed commitment to maintaining health as a daily priority. And that, to me, was unequivocally a silver lining. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.